My cabin that was, once again, 5 miles from downtown Fairbanks, 5 miles from the college where I was in graduate school. My cabin with no running water that was in the 80s, and to this day, where that is, anyway, here it is. This is for my cabin. I grew up in Pennsylvania and went to college as far away as I could imagine, which was in North Carolina. A famous college, Duke University. I was a business major at Duke University, and I became an Alaskan fiddling poet. That's what happened. That's partly late blooming. But when I got to Fairbanks for something called a Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing, at the end of every semester, every class, there was always a party. And at Duke University, they didn't have parties, and we were taking business classes. So we had these parties, and I promised myself if I was ever teaching in a university, we'd always have a party. So I finished my 3 years in Fairbanks, and I wasn't ready to leave Alaska. I lived in Juneau, I lived in Sitka, then I lived in Nome. Nome is on the Bering Sea coast. It's on the west coast of Alaska. It's 200 miles from Russia. Nome is 3,500 people. It's half white, it's half native, and there's a little branch campus of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I was the English department. I was teaching over telephone. It would be as if you're here in Clarksdale, and if you want to get anywhere, you want to get to Batesville, you got to get on an airplane. There's 3 roads, but they don't connect, and they're only open a few months of the year. It's that kind of place, and I was teaching once again over the phone. So if I had students in, like where Cody was in Greenville, or up towards South Haven or Olive Branch, or across Batesville, Oxford, or across state in Columbus, everything was by telephone. But my promise to myself is we'd always have a party. So here's my poem called Class Party Known. There were 14 people in 8 sites. The semester's final meeting. From the gnome classroom, I called attendance, kicked off festivities by picking an Irish jig, a reel, a New England hornpipe on mandolin. 2 young women exchanged tunes from Mogadon, warbled folk songs in Russian. Next to 3 guys from prison acted the courtroom drama they'd scripted. It was called Appeal to God. From the village of Wales, Vince blew his harmonica, strummed guitar, and sang Woody Guthrie. From the Unalakleet Baptist Church, Loretta played Bach. From Koyuk, Polly told the story her grandfather told on his deathbed, and so on. Till Tammy from Nome counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Asked everybody everywhere to reach for the cookies she had mailed late last week and munch. It's probably Huey from jail who hammed the comic smacking noises. And I closed by fiddling the Waltz in D I'd written for those who had dropped, who had earlier dismissed themselves. So, I had a brilliant student who we had a talent show, and her talent was thinking ahead, baking cookies and mailing them with the instructions to bring them to class. It was as if here in Clarksdale, with students in Cleveland, Greenville, up in South Haven, Olive Branch, Batesville, we're all eating cookies at the same time. In a way, it was good practice for a pandemic, but that was back in 1990 and 1992. I will get my fiddle and play this Fairbanks Cabin Waltz with Cody. Give him a hand. He learned this waltz of mine. There's only a few people in the world who play this. Fairbanks, Cabin Waltz.